Hello, welcome to the video. This is a new corner. If you have not watched my last video where I kind of set up my new space for November, welcome to my standing desk. You're sitting on a pile of books currently. There's a lot going on, but if you want a full tour of this space, go check out that video. I think this vlog is going to be Act 2, Part 2. So my last true vlog was I think called This Book Will Never End, which is still true, but that was me editing Act 1. So if you want to go back and watch that one, feel free. But my plan for the next few days is to have Act 2 Part 2 ready. So I'm doing this in 2 stages. The first stage is to take everything from my revision plan and make changes to chapters. So there's only like 3 or so chapters I need to change. There's like a 500-word chapter I need to write really quickly. It doesn't need to be quick, but I would like it to be. And then I have some changes to make in a few later chapters. Then that's step 1. Step 2 is going back to the beginning of Act 2, so where I left off, and reading and rewriting. I'm not rewriting the whole book, obviously, but like reading, making any line edits, making any tone edits, making sure that that act reads cohesively. And that's what I found to be the best way to do it for me, because then I can really see, does it make sense for this chapter to come after this chapter? Does it make sense for them to be thinking this thing after they recently thought this other thing? Like, is their train of thought consistent? All of that is really clear to me when I'm able to read it all in a short period of time. And it's about 10 chapters that I'm dealing with. This one actually is more like 12 chapters. Buckle in.
In the darkness when I'm stumbling and I don't know what to do, when it all feels overwhelming, I am never over you, and I don't know why I'm like this, why I never get enough. In the depths of all my drowning fears, I am covered in your love, and it's then that I'm reminded just how beautiful you are. Even when my faith is falling, you're still carrying my heart. My heart is covered in your love.
Hey, I'm loving the desk setup, if anybody was curious. Anyway, it's about 5:30. Oh, it's 5:30. Okay, well, I'm behind, but that's fine. I ordered a pizza. Listen, Saturday night, writing night, I am ordering a pizza. And then it took me about 40 minutes. It's kind of fun to go on the walking pad and walk the whole time, because then you see like how long you were going. Because I didn't want to set up a timer, because I think I've become very reliant on timers recently, which is fine. But this, I wanted to write the scene and edit the scene. I'm not quite done. I'm about halfway through editing it, but I wrote about 1,000 words in like 15 minutes and then spent about 20 minutes editing through that, and I'm not even done. So if you've been thinking like dictating is the magic bullet, it is, but now that I have, in terms of like getting words quick, getting the story out of you quickly, I do still value it for that, and I will continue to draft this way. It's just helpful for my brain. But now that I've, for a couple weeks now, been, like I dictate a scene and then I edit the scene, I'm realizing more and more it takes roughly the same amount of time to type it and to dictate and edit through it. But I think you could say like there's still benefits to dictating, because in that amount of time that it would have taken to write it, you've set it out, which is like essentially one pass, and then you've edited through it, which is like another pass of it, sort of. So I don't know. Do what you want, but it's going well. I'm liking this scene. And then after this, there's like a whole section of like 5 chapters that I don't even know if it's worth it to make the changes at this point or to make them as I edit through. Because the difference between this first thing I'm doing and the second thing is that this first thing is like if there's an actual change. So right now I'm like writing a new scene to go in. And other changes I would make in this pass is like, or adding in a phone call, or switching out a name thing, or, you know, not the tone things, because the tone things I want to come when I read it all at once to see like it does the internal monologue work. I don't know. Because the changes I want to make, I don't even know if they're more so changes that you find out later, but I still need to read the scene with the lens of like knowing what's actually happening. Because the only thing that's changing about this section of scenes in the midpoint is that there's something else that's really going on. But it doesn't actually change what's in the scene. It just changes after, like what you learn about it afterwards. But I still need to read it with the knowledge of how it is now, you know? And make sure that that all lines up. Because it's like, it's actually a totally different situation, but it looks like the same situation. This is so hard to explain, and I'm gibberishing right now. But I don't know, I'm gonna read through a little bit. There's one, like I need to switch out some nickname sort of things. But it is going well. I feel myself really getting into the zone, and I love the walking pad. It's just so nice. I just feel like this is a space I'm gonna really use a lot. We'll just see. But the moral of the story is the scene is going well. It's doing a lot of things. It's one of those like, if I was reading this, I'd be like, what is this? What is the point of this scene? But actually it's doing a lot of work. I don't know, everyone. I'll see you when there's pizza. Update from me. I don't know who else the update would be from, but I'm on my first writing session, which is 11:30 to 1. I did just take a break for like 10 minutes. Didn't intend for it to be 10 minutes, but here we are. I'm going from chapter 9 to chapter 22. I thought maybe today, but that seems maybe not. But it's Sunday. I don't know if I mentioned that, so I do have a full day. Chapter 9 originally was 2 different scenes. And I think it actually makes more sense to take the first scene of chapter 9 and combine it with a scene at, I think, chapter 11. But there's some things that need to stay, like some elements that need to stay in chapter 9. And I think some elements from chapter 11 that I'm going to bring into chapter 9. Because the beginning of chapter 9 and chapter 11 are, she's like in a class learning something, which I'm using as sort of a narrative device to get some information around things and also develop a few relationships, but I'm trying to keep it interesting, and like classroom settings are hard to keep interesting in my opinion. So what I'm trying to do here is take, right now there's 2 different class scenes. So I think I'm gonna take out one of them and just distribute the information from the first one into the second one, but then take some of the other thing back into chapter 9, because the reader needs to know certain things before the second scene in chapter 9. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to figure out now. Wish me the best of luck. All right, that is session number 1, 11:30 to 1. But I did take probably a 20-minute break in there. So about an hour. I'm gonna go get groceries quick and then come back for another round. I only got through chapter 9 and I rearranged some things. My intention, I'm starting this new thing on my whiteboard where I just did this one time, but I like it so far, where I have like what writing session I'm like for the day, the writing sessions for the day. And this first one is 11:30 to 1. And then I set an intention. So my intention was to get through chapters 9 through 11, which if I hadn't had to rearrange, I probably would have gone through 9 and 10. Then, so one column that's like intention and one that's reality. So then I can kind of keep track of how much I got done that day. So yeah, I'm gonna come back, and honestly, I'm kind of thinking chapter 10 might need more changes than I thought, because I actually am not gonna share why, but either it doesn't make sense the way she acts, or I need to figure out why it makes sense and then like adjust her frame of thought. But it's not her POV, that's why it's difficult. I mean, she is in a delicate state, like it would make sense, but still chapter 12 is my enemy anyway. But I think that should help me, what I just wrote. So anyway, I'm gonna go get groceries. And then I hope to be back like around 2, like starting again around 2. And then like a 2 to 3:30 maybe. And then the weekday starts again tomorrow, and then I won't have all this time. So I gotta maximize, baby. Okay, I'll see you soon. Right on schedule. I did a session from 2:30 to 3:15 where I got through chapter 10 and 11, and then I just did one from 4:15 to 5 where I got through chapters 13, and now I'm taking 15 minutes, get ready for church, and then do another 45 minutes before I need to leave, and hopefully get through, let's set that intention, 14 and 15, but that's, these chapters are the, we could do it. So far I've done 2 45-minute sessions and then 1 90-minute session that I think was probably more like 80 minutes. I can't do the math of that somehow. I think it's almost 3 hours. So I've written for roughly 3 hours so far. I still feel like I have some steam in the tank, so that's good. I don't know how I would do this on a day that I work though. If you watched my Preptober video, my first Preptober video, I'd like to be hitting the 3-hour mark of active writing every day, just to make the progress that I want to make. Obviously, if I have like something going on in the evening or in the morning where I don't get my usual 2 different times to write, it's okay if I don't write for 3 hours a day, but I'd like that to be my baseline, which is maybe too much, but it's fine. But it's really, I mean, it's working out. I feel like even though my first session was at like 10 or 11, I feel so much more in flow with the story. It's easier to just go in and out of it. I don't know. I don't think, obviously you don't have to do this to be successful, but maybe you do. Hot tips with Alyssa. I'm gonna go change. Goodbye. Okay, everyone, let's do a fit check. Oh, I can already tell I don't like my hair. Okay, I was thinking of having it down, but it seemed aggressive. Like, it's not really very like cute right now. It's been in a high bun all day. I'm trying to get some like volume at the roots. This is not what you're here for and you don't care, but I'm trying to embrace my femininity. I don't know. So I've recently started wearing jewelry, which is shocking to everyone, and started putting lotion on my face, which is also a shock. But here's the fit. I don't know if the monochrome is doing what I want it to do. We're gonna go with it. I've got a little gold piece here. I also have some gold in my necklace, in my headband, I think. Hi. Oh. Is that better? No, it's worse. Okay. This is what I look like, if you didn't know. It's the end of the day on Monday, and who said that I was allowed to work 8 hours a day on a job that's not writing? It's just Monday. And I've just had a busy day, but that's okay. So it's 5:30, and I just finished up reading Cody's first section, and I'm meeting with him and Sylvia in about my beta readers, my critique partners in about 30 minutes. I do usually like to read through their comments before meeting, just so I have some context and like I can go in with questions or clarifications. I don't know if I'm really ready to like hear feedback on this book yet, but I know I need to, and I think it will be helpful. I'm just a little stressed because now that we're like meeting about part 1, that means that part 2, which is Act 2, part 1, which is this whole section that I'm working on, which is chapters 9 through 21, which is much more than chapters 1 through 9, I will say, or 1 through 8. That's 8 chapters. This is now 12. I kind of made a plan, so I will be done with it by tomorrow at noon if everything goes to plan, which it won't, so it'll be tomorrow night. But I'm still very close to this book, and the last time I did a critique partnership like this, the book was already really like, I felt really good and polished about it, so I'm a little nervous, but I can't be afraid of criticism. If I start being afraid of criticism, that will just lead me down a dark hole. So, also my house is such a mess and I don't understand. So I'm gonna go carefully and considerately read through this feedback that they have. I'm hoping that tonight I'm gonna get another 30 minutes of writing after we meet. And then in the morning when I have streams, do another 90 minutes, and then hopefully at my lunch hour I can finish it up, but we will see. It is going well. We're just not in the weekend anymore, so I don't have quite as much time to work on it, but I am still determined to keep pace, so yikes. Hi, welcome to Tuesday, 5:51. I'm about to head into my sprints for the day. Riveting stuff, truly. It actually feels like it has been so long since I've been on sprints. Not physically because I was sprinting on Thursday. So Thursday to Tuesday is not that huge of a break, but I just feel like I've gotten through so much of the book in that time. Like set up that whole desk and like lived a life. I don't know. I did not end up writing after the critique partnership group situation. And I never should expect to, frankly, because I feel like I tried for a second and I was just thinking about all the things we said in the group. Very productive time. Very good feedback. So it wasn't like there was anything huge and major that came to light during the session that I need to like change anything from. It's just like the mental, like I'm still in what we were talking about, so it's hard to jump into revising. The coffee has not kicked in. I'm hoping to get through like one chapter per 25 minutes, but also as always with this revision, I get through what I get through. And all the chapters are such different lengths, it's impossible to make goals, but you know, I'm thinking this will be the end of this video because I already have a lot of clips and I'd like to get it posted tomorrow. So, oh, but actually no, we're gonna finish it out because today I am going to like turn in this act to my critique partners. So I need to finish it today. Yeah, if I need to finish it tonight, I can, but let's see how much we can get done. It is Tuesday night and I'm on chapter 19. Listen, this chapter was once chapter 21? No. There were two chapter 18 and 19s. So there was actually like 2 more chapters than I thought there was. This section is like abhorrently longer than the first section I sent, which is fine. But it's just taking me a long time to get through. And also, it's making me a little afraid for the second half of the book because so far the first half of the book has been where my focus has been, and all of the changes I've been making have been very like focused on the first half of the book, and they won't really be changes I'll need to make in the second half of the book, which you might be thinking like, oh great, then it'll be easier. No, there are still a lot of changes in the second half of the book, but they're different, and I think they're actually bigger. I think that the changes in the first half of the book were more difficult in that I wasn't sure exactly how to do them, because it was a lot of like tone change and flow of character motivation, you know, and that's a little bit trickier to like conceptualize. But the stuff in the second half is like a lot of new scenes. Like it's more edits in the crime area of it all. I don't know. So that's where we are. Maybe I'll be dramatic because if I ended at chapter 23, then it's like a big cliffhanger. But if I ended on chapter 24, it gets resolved. So maybe I'll do chapter 23, which is still 4 more chapters. Sorry, I'm going a little insane. But these chapters, these 4, 19 through 23, it's all one big juicy midpoint. And I haven't looked at it yet. There's one change I think that I'm making, but again, it's not like really an on the page kind of a change, which is very confusing. I'm dead inside. Anyway, I don't think they're very long though. Let me look. Chapter 19 is 1,000 words. Chapter 20 is 1,000. No. 19 is 900 words. 20 is 1,300 words. Oh, 21 is only 800 words. 22 is only 600. Alyssa. Okay, well, see, I think this is a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that they won't take very long to get through. The bad thing is they probably need to be beefed up by me. I'm also editing this video tonight. So, I don't know if I'm going to talk to you again, but I will let you know when I finish this.